Welcome to the Nebraska Democratic Party 2016 Caucus Series. I'm Pego de Lippert. Our guest is Marta Nieves, Chair of the Latino Caucus. Welcome, Marta.
Thank you.
Our specific purpose of this series is how the affiliated caucuses can be tools in implementing the inclusion plan for the Nebraska Democratic Presidential Caucus and the delegate selection plan. We are a Big Tent party, and we not only welcome but want participation from the wide spectrum of Nebraska Democrats. Before getting into those specifics, however, Marta, would you tell us about the Latino Caucus and what led you to be the chair?
Well, the Latino Caucus encompasses the Latino and Hispanic populations across the state. In terms of my work and my life experience, my past activism and interest in civic engagement and political engagement as well. Also my over 45 years living in this community, I have become very familiar with many of the organizations and the individuals in the Latino community, and I felt I was a good bridge to help them come to the Democratic Party.
That's great, and we're certainly glad that you did, Marta. Would you also tell us about the work of the Latino Caucus and what are your organizational goals?
Well, actually, the organizational goal, we have a statement that I use to help unite people, and that is that our mission is to promote involvement of Latinos in the political process and the activities of the Democratic Party. Also, not just local, but statewide and federal level as well.
Wonderful. And so what work are you doing at this time in the Latino Caucus?
Well, at the present time, we are really reaching out to not only organizations, but to individuals. Historically, the Latino population across the state, which is not monolithic, we are very diverse. There's Cuban, there's Salvadoran, there's Nicaraguan, there's Peruvian, Guatemalan. There's just so many different, in addition to the largest percentage, which are Mexican Americans. And some of these families have been here hundreds of years.
Yes,
they're third, fourth, fifth generation Latino Americans. And so it is such a diverse population that it ranges from being very involved. We even have some local representatives in government, but none on the state level.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, there's a lot of work we need to do. There are varied ideas and opinions and perceptions.
Don't you have an organization that goes beyond the typical 4 times a year central committee meeting, like at least in Douglas and Sarpy?
Yes, and that's part of our work, to reach out to all of the communities that have a sizable population. We can't reach out to everyone because, we're a small group, but we have identified certain locations that have the largest percentage of Latinos, and that's where we're focusing this year. However, I do have, and it's been operating about a year now, the Douglas County, Sarpy County Latino Caucus. Mm-hmm. And because we have so many Latinos concentrated in these areas, we feel that it's worth the effort to get people involved. And also to work together with organizations like the League of Women Voters, the Heartland Workers Center, the Latino Center of the Midlands, and also Omaha Public Schools.
Wonderful.
Because we have young people who have so many skills and also UNO. Mm-hmm. So we really are very broad-based. And we invite the nonpartisans as well. And I like to say the disaffected Republicans can also.
Well, now let's talk specifically about your plans to reach out to your membership and potential members, not only to promote, but engage them in the caucus process in their respective counties across the state.
Exactly. Well, I'm very pleased to announce that I have had a good co-chair by the name of Felipe Cruz, and he is in Grand Island. So he has committed to begin to form a Latino caucus in Grand Island.
Oh, wonderful.
Together with Yolanda Nuncio, who is a very well-respected, well-known, like fifth-generation Latina, Mexican-American individual there. And as a result, I needed to get a co-chair. And Luis Sotelo from Lexington has agreed to serve in that capacity, and so I'm very excited. We have begun to develop a strategy, beginning with finding out what are the cities and the localities that have the largest percentage of Latinos, and particularly registered. One of the things we found, Peg, is that there are many Latinos who are registered but have not felt included and involved. And so a big part of our strategy is to educate. And for example, on last month, we had Chris Carruthers, who is the Deputy Election Commissioner for Douglas County, come and talk about voting, registration, all the ins and outs of that. So a big part of our role is to educate the Latinos, not just on the civic issues and political issues, but who we are as a party. It's very important for people to understand and know what the Democratic Party stands for.
And so what specifically are you planning to do to involve these same members across the state in the caucus? I don't mean the Latino caucus, but I mean in the Presidential Preference Caucus across the state, because that is our focus, really, to be inclusive, both for the inclusion plan and the delegate selection plan.
Well, part of it, as I said, the education piece, and so there is an excellent website that has a PowerPoint and all information. So I'm going to go ahead and use that with the Douglas County, Sarpy County caucus, this next meeting that we're having. And that is what we will use very soon. I'm really encouraging within the next month or two, so that people are aware that they have a role, that we are a big tent party and we want them there. We need their voices. Along with that, I think it's important for us to send the message that we really want to listen. And so I have worked with the county chairs of, for instance, Grand Island, with, oh my goodness, I can't remember. Well, anyway, there are several, South Sioux City, you know, all these different areas with Schuyler, which we know have a heavy Latino population, and to help the county party be more welcoming. People don't particularly want to be exclusive, but we kind of get in our habits. And when new people come in, it's important to greet. It's important to get to know. And, you know, it's an interesting thing that I have realized that our schools have left out a big part of the Hispanic and Latino history of our nation. And so I am encouraging not only the non-Latinos, but the Latinos to learn about our own history. And there is a resource that's absolutely wonderful. And I would love to at least tell you what it is, put it out there. So if anyone is listening, I really would encourage you to get this book. It's in the libraries, and it's called Latino Americans, A 500-Year Legacy That Shaped a Nation. And I learned about some of the different like we mentioned, Salvadoran, Nicaraguan, and all of those different groups, South America, Central American groups that are in our nation. And although we're united by Spanish, we kind of each speak it a little bit different way and have different foods and so on. So it's an untold story, and I would encourage everyone to read this book. It's written by a very well-respected journalist, Ray Suarez. Some of you may have seen him on NPR and such. On the television and the radio. So I really would encourage people to look that book up, Latino Americans, A 500-Year Legacy That Shaped a Nation.
And the important thing is to reach out and have those people included, feel welcome.
Yes.
And participate.
And I'm here to help in that process, because it's really, it's kind of, you know, I've noticed that in most of our communities, the two groups don't really do much together. So they don't know one another.
Well, I'd just like to sort of wrap up here, Marta, by you mentioned the website, which is Nebraska Caucus 2016.org. Also, there's the state party, the Nebraska Democratic Party website, which is accessible, nebraskademocrats.org. And this whole series, which was kicked off by Vince Powers, the state party chair, and then an intensive interview with Charlene Ligon, who is the chair of the 2016 caucus. And also, there's on the website, the Nebraska Caucus 2016, there is the PowerPoint you mentioned, but also this series of interviews will all be available there.
Great.
And also you can contact directly to Charlene Ligon, the caucus chair, at ligoncl@cox.net, and Charlene's phone number 402-215-1571. Chauncey Brown, who is the data director for the Nebraska Democratic Party, is available at chauncey@nebraskademocrats.org. Her phone number is 402-434-2180. I want to thank you so much for your time. Remind your membership and potential membership of these resources.
Absolutely.
To know and understand the caucus
Now,
process.
one of the things that I do, Peg, is on every agenda for our meetings, I put all those, not those specific, some specific ones, the party website, all of those in pieces so that they can reference them.
Good. I want to thank you for your time, and best wishes to you and your caucus membership in your efforts to maximize participation in the caucuses across the state on March 5th and to retain the interest in the party participation.
Thank you.